Welcome to Sociology Everyday. In today's newspaper, as we don't have much to discuss in sociological perspective except an article which says ambulance operators told to adhere to normal rates. Here, what happened is in the state of Andhra Pradesh, in Chittoor district, some ambulance operators were breaking the rules and exorbitantly charging the patients, catching the situation of COVID-19 and their urgency to reach the hospital. In this article, it was given that the police have fixed a tariff chart for prime routes, as said by DSP. The situation was described in this article. That is, in Chittoor, the Chittoor police on Friday held a meeting with them and asked them to strictly adhere to the normal tariff. Operators were charging 4 to 5 times the usual rates. If it is a COVID patient, the exploitation goes up manifold. Action would be taken against the operators if they continue to fleece patients. This was reported in this article. Now, what we have to discuss in sociological perspective in this article was, if we go to the chapter of Talcott Parsons, this is a social action. Action done by ambulance operators is a social action because for Talcott Parsons, social action is something consciously done. As ambulance operators know that they are conscious of breaking the rules, they are conscious of the consequences, they are conscious of the values and morals they are breaking, they are conscious of the situation they are in and the situation the patients are in right now. So they are consciously doing that action. Hence, it is a social action according to Talcott Parsons. Now, if we consider the ambulance operators and the patients as a social system, let us analyze the action done by the ambulance operators. Now, Talcott Parsons says a social system in a social system, role is the basic unit, and it is something which defines the social system altogether. Here, ambulance operators status is in this social system of ambulance operators and patients. The status that ambulance operators has is higher when compared to patients, and the role played by ambulance operators is taking the patients to the hospitals. Now, what is the goal of ambulance operators? That is to gain money. Now, this individual, that is ambulance operator, if we take his goal is to earn money. To earn money, he has several means to earn money. One of the means is discharging his duties rightfully and earning money in legitimate manner. And the another means is breaking all the rules and norms and earning money in a discrepant manner. Now, another means is motivating others to earn money in legitimate manner, and collectively they are abiding by social norms and values and moving forward collectively. There are several n number of ways for ambulance operators to gain money, that is to reach their goal. Now, what means the ambulance operators choose is described by Talcott Parsons in two ways, that is motivational orientation and value orientation. This motivational orientation and value orientation collectively influence the ambulance operators in choice of their means to reach their goal. What is motivational orientation is, in it there are three parts, that is cognitive orientation, cathartic orientation and evaluation orientation. In cognitive orientation, ambulance operators see their need. What is their need? Earning money. See their need, see their environment in relation to their need, and act accordingly. The environment is that there is a distress situation and people are suffering, and the ambulance operators have seen this whole situation in relation to their need and cashed in the situation. They cashed in that patients are suffering and they need urgently to reach the hospital. This has matched with their need to earn money and they acted in charging exorbitant rates. The second motivation orientation is cathartic orientation. That is whether they have interest in acting, choosing their means or not. They like the means which they are doing or not. Now we certainly don't know whether they like what they are doing, but this cathartic orientation definitely influence the individuals, that is ambulance operators, to choose their means. The third one is evaluative orientation. That is to organize their efforts in realizations of their object with optimum efficiency. In choosing their means, they must have organized all their efforts and they have chosen their means which gives best results for them and which gives ultimate satisfaction for them. These three come under motivational orientation. Now, apart from motivational orientation, value orientation also influences a individual's choice of means according to Talcott Parsons. Under value orientation, there are again three parts, that is cognitive orientation, appreciative orientation, and moral orientation. What is cognitive orientation? Relates to validity of judgment, whether their selection of means is valid or not, they will evaluate. And secondly, appreciative orientation. That means this appreciative orientation makes it possible for ambulance operators to judge their emotional response to object. What was their emotional response to patients charging them height and crashing in the situation? This appreciative orientation helps the actors, helps the ambulance operators to judge themselves whether they are doing it right or not. Now, moral orientation regards to value commitment of value ambulance operators. Now, everyone has some values and norms. Ambulance operators also have some values. Now, this moral orientation helps them to decide whether they are acting according to their own values or not. Now, all these six orientations, that is three under moral orientation, sorry, motivational orientation, and three under value orientation, might have definitely influenced the ambulance operators to act in that way. Now, to explain the choices of action available to ambulance operators, Talcott Parsons goes on to introduce another concept called pattern variables. In these pattern variables, there are five pattern variables of role definition. That means a role ambulance operators in defining their role, in doing their role, they have five pattern variables that are available for them to choose their action wisely. First one is effectivity versus effective neutrality. Effectivity means expressing one's own orientation in terms of their immediate gratification, whether they are acting immediately cashing in the situation, or they are renouncing immediate gratification in favor of moral interest, whether they are giving higher pedestal to their moral interest and relegating their immediate gratification, or they're immediately gratifying their actions. Here, as the ambulance operators, as we have seen, they have certainly gone for effectivity rather than effective neutrality, because they did not take into consideration their moral interests. Second pattern variable is self orientation versus collectivity orientation. Self orientation means acting in the interest of themselves. Collective orientation means relegating their own interests, giving higher importance to community interest or collective interest in the good of larger number of people. Here, definitely, ambulance operators saw their own interest at the expense of the interest of larger number of people, that is patients. Hence, they have gone for self-orientation rather than collectivity orientation. Now, third pattern variable is universalism versus particularism. In order to understand whether they have gone for universalism or particularism, we need to understand whether this charging of exorbitant rates is particularly in this situation, that is in this distress situation, or it is general to everyday everyday situation for them, or it is particularly to some patients, or it is general to everyone. If you have seen it, ambulance operators here have been particular in COVID situation only. They used to not be like this in every other situation. And here it is mentioned that if it is a COVID patient, the exploitation goes of manifold. That means they have been particular for COVID patients to exploit manifold. So they have gone for particularism rather than universalism. Fourth pattern variable is ascription versus achievement. Whether the role being played by the ambulance operators is ascribed or achieved. It is certainly achieved because the role given to them was not ascription, because they have not achieved it through birth or through sex or through age or something else. They must have achieved because of their qualification to do their job as ambulance operators. It might also be ascribed because his father or his family member might have been ambulance operator. It can also be that way. We cannot decide that pattern variable here, certainly. And the fifth pattern variable is specificity versus diffuseness. In order to understand this, we have to see at the relations between the ambulance operator and the patients, whether the role relation between them is specific or diffusive. It is certainly specific, because specificity and diffusiveness depend on the scope of the object and the role performance. Here, the scope is very limited. The patient goes to the ambulance operator drops him at the hospital, and this role ends, and his role ends. So, the scope is very limited. Hence, it is specific rather than diffusive. Now, we have understood the behavior of ambulance operators in sociological perspective, guided by Talcott Parsons in his social action and pattern variables. Now, Talcott Parsons does not stop there. He goes on giving solutions to this social change. Is this a social change? Yes, because ambulance operators have not been like this before. They are being like this only in the COVID times. That means they have undergone some change. That is, hence it can be said as social change. According to Talcott Parsons, when does social change happen? When there is a change in energy flow or there is an information control. Here, ambulance operators here, change in energy control is certainly towards the direction of ambulance operators because they have enormous amount of energy in relation to the patients, and they have certainly information control, whether it is material information or intellectual information. They certainly have some control of over the situation. Hence, the change in the flow of direction of energy and information control is in favor of ambulance operators. Those were the reasons for this social change as opined by Talcott Parsons. Now, Talcott Parsons, while giving solutions for this social change, he says solutions can be arrived, that is, social change can be restored in two ways. One way is socialization, that is, sharing of collective norms and values with them, uh, persuading them not to act like this, reminding them of our social values and commitments. This certainly takes some time. It has to be a long-term process. The second way Talcott Parsons says is social control. That means denying the social change. It is discouraging deviance from social norms through social control, that is either by law and order or by police. Here, that is what exactly had happened. Police have stepped in and they have exercised some social control to deter the violence, to deter the deviation from social norms. That we can see here. Chittoor police on Friday held a meeting with them and asked them to strictly adhere to the normal staff. That means they are discouraging deviance. And again, action would be taken against the operators if they continue to fleece patients. This is again a strict discouragement to deviance. Hence, social control has been exercised here and restoration of social change have been achieved. This is what we can understand from this article in sociological perspective. Sociology is all about understanding what is happening around us. Now, if you go to the next one, as we don't have much articles to discuss in sociological perspective today, let us discuss this picture where a man takes his oxygen cylinder on his scooter, apparently to save the life of his family members or friends or relatives or kith and kin, anyone else. Now, this we look at this picture in Weberian perspective. For Weber, this is a social action because Weber's social action is directed towards others. Here, this man's social action is definitely directed towards others. He is taking that cylinder for someone other than him. It might be for him also, but apparently it is someone other than him. Now, Weber classifies social action into four types. That is recreational social action, word rational social action, emotional action, and traditional action. Now, if we analyze this social action, that is taking of oxygen cylinder for someone he loves, it can be classified as recreational social action also because this social action has both meaning and ends. Weberian perspective, Weberian social action depends on Westerhan approach. What is Westerhan approach? Understanding the social action at the level of their meanings. We are not directly going into the conclusion why what that man is doing. We are trying to understand what that man is doing at the level of meanings. Why we are trying to investigate into why he is doing like that. This is Westerhan approach. In if we go to the level of meanings, we may conclude that his meaning is rational and his end is also rational. Hence, as both means and ends are rational, his end is to save someone's life. That is rational. So hence, both means and ends are rational, we can conclude it as recreational social action. It also comes under emotional social action because he is immediately acting to the suffering being meted out to his loved ones, and he is immediately taking oxygen cylinder to them. Hence it can also be classified as emotional social action. Now it can again be said as traditional social action because to save someone we love from their suffering has been our tradition since long time. Hence this can be classified as traditional social action also. But here comes an important criticism to Weber, that is from Theodor Obel. Theodor Obel says there is a flaw in Verstehen approach because everything cannot be analyzed at the level of meanings, because analyzing at the level of meanings includes some subjectivity. Now we have concluded that this man is going to save someone he loves by giving oxygen cylinder to them. But tomorrow some other person can come and say like, no, he is not doing that. He has an enemy who is suffering from COVID in hospital. His enemy was under the aid of oxygen cylinder. He wants to kill his enemy, so he robbed the oxygen cylinder he was getting oxygen from, and he was taking that oxygen cylinder away from hospital. That man can say like this, and it also, this argument can also cannot be negated all at once. Hence, this Western approach has a flaw, as opined by Theodore Robel. It has some subjectivity included in it. It is dependent. The social action understanding of social action is dependent from person to person. For one person, that social action can be found as meaningful. For the other person, it can be found as not meaningful. This is about Max Weber's social action and his criticism by Theodore Robel. Today, that is all we have. Thank you and have a nice day.